Hey, this is Tony here from Always Causing Racquet. Today we are going to be going over ReString 0. So this has been one of my favorite strings to play with recently. I've been using this as a hybrid and a full bed of strings on my Wilson Blade Pro at a very low tension. I think this is probably one of my strings of choice, one of my top strings of this year. And we're just going to go over kind of like my personal review and just kind of like a company overview, which I like doing. So jumping right into it, I actually got to hit with Juan once. He actually reached out to me last year or so, a year and a half ago, just to try out their strings. He lives in the area. He's living around Maryland, and we met up there to play tennis one time. What a great player. He's such a high level, I would love to see a YouTube channel like just of him going pro, kind of like Carew and Simon. He was a hitting partner for Leylah Fernandez and Frances Tiafoe at the City Open this year. Great lefty all around, very friendly player. He also has an Instagram Tennis Fitness and ReString 0, which I'll put the link down here so you guys can give them a follow. And I haven't had the privilege to meet the other co-owner, Nick, but hopefully I get to hit with him someday. But this string kind of started out a couple years ago, I think around in 2020, and they're very known for their durability and their sustainably driven initiatives. So there is a kind of gloss over ReString 0. I think that enhances like the bite of the ball and helps, it's very easy to string. I think this kind of reminds me of Toroline Wasabi with that nice gloss. I think that provides a little bit of softness to the ball as well, or to the strings. And it comes in 16 and 17. If you go online, you can buy their strings in a pack or a box of like 5 or 16. I have an account with them, so I get, I order in bulk, so I kind of need a reel. They offer reels to people with accounts, so I'm hoping that they can turn this plastic into a paper or cardboard material that's more recyclable. But if you buy their packs of strings online, it's their paper material is a biodegradable material. So they really try to help offset their carbon footprint with their company. And they also try to recycle their strings into tennis bracelets, which I think is a really cool idea. But other than that, I have been testing the 17 gauge just because I'm not a huge string breaker. And my thoughts about this is it is probably one of the most like maximum. It offers a lot of spin potential, and it's not that firm. It's weird to say it's a firm string, but it's soft. I don't know if that is the complete opposite. But you just have to try it out. It really reminds me of Toroline Wasabi, where it doesn't need a huge play. I guess it doesn't need to break in. I can just string it and then go out and hit with it, and it feels great. I get a lot of hours on these strings. This string holds tension really well. I think it holds better tension than Luxilon 4G or something like Solinco Torbite, where they're known for their durability. I have a customer who used to play with 4G Soft, Solinco Hyper G 16 gauge, and before I even offered trying to look at 15L strings elsewhere, not a lot of companies offer that. I think maybe there's a RPM Blast 15L, maybe there's a Solinco string that's 15L, but I didn't get a chance to look. I said, try out the ReString 0 16 gauge, see how long it takes for you to break. And I think to this day, he's only broken it once. I think over time, usually he breaks the 4G or Hyper G 16 gauge every 2 weeks. And he plays this 16 by 19 string pattern. He can't break the ReString 0 16 gauge. Does it lose tension over time? Yes. But I think he gets about a month of playability with these strings, which compared to other poly strings on the market, I think you probably should only get 2 or 3 weeks of playability before it noticeably drops in tension or breaks with the amount of times you're playing. So all in all, this string has, this string really gets its money's worth because you rarely will restring this You won't break it as often compared to other strings, but you will notice over time, over about a month or two, you will notice the tension drop. It's a softer string compared to 4G or Silico Torbite. I don't have any elbow issues playing with these strings. I think for first time stringing this, I highly suggest going down a few pounds. I think when I first started playing with my Wilson Blade Pro, I started around like 53 pounds of a 17 gauge string. When I play with ReString Zero, I think right now I actually went all the way down to 46 pounds, and it plays great. This string is a little bit, I think when you look at a 16 or 17 gauge string, you'll notice it's noticeably bigger, a little bit thicker compared to other strings. I think if you look at Toroline Wasabi, that is a thicker string, even though it says 17. But if you compare it with some other ones, I think it's noticeably a little bit thicker. And I think that's because of their shaped hexagonal shape. I think since it protrudes out more in its shape, I think that little like the sharp edge makes it a little bit bigger than a 17. So yeah, I highly suggest try out the 17 gauge first, see how long it takes to break. If you're noticing that you're breaking this one a lot quicker, try out the 16 gauge and go down in tension. But yeah, other than that, it's a great string to have. You know, if you want to try it out, you can go to the link below in my YouTube video to get a discount. I think their company overall, I love what they're doing about trying to reduce their carbon footprint and trying to be sustainably driven. I think if you notice with tennis, there's so much like plastic materials with our sport. It's kind of hard to recycle plastic reels like this. It's hard to recycle tennis balls unless if you go through like an organization that does it. It's hard to recycle like old tennis strings because it's all plastic. So I think something like this is a great opportunity for our tennis world and tennis marketing to just try to make the world a little bit better and try to reduce our waste in products. But yeah, if you have any other questions about these strings, please feel free to comment down below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. If you want discounts, go to the link below. And yeah, try out ReString Zero. I really like it. I think you guys will too. If you have any questions about this, and if you're in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area and want to try this, hit me up. Yeah, I'll put these strings on for you. Anyways, thanks for watching and take care. Bye.